Hey guys, how's it going? Cheers to you, and don't give me any crap because I'm taking my vitamins right now, and especially when I take my vitamins, I need a chaser. Because here's the deal. I've already taken like 3 of them, but this is the totality of what I take every lunchtime. Oh God, I'm sorry. I just do not know why they have not. I'm talking to GNC to see if they can make this happen, but why they have not figured out a way. I'm going to take the 2 smelliest ones right in front of you. This is what I do. I'm not lying. I eat my lunch and then I lay these out because I tend to not. I'm not doing the big breakfast thing right now. That might change after tonight's meeting. I'll get to that in a second. Oh, it's a bad taste. Okay, those are the 2 last. Oh wait, no, there's 2 more. I do this really quickly, and I do it with soda, and then it's like maybe minimizes the bad taste like 25%. These ones are more neutral. I'm probably not being really good in sharing this with you this way, but I'm also just being honest. This is not a brand thing, you guys. It's not like, you guys know I'm taking the GNC Vita-Pak. So I'm taking the Vita-Pak, and then the other one is the, what's the word I'm looking for? Physioburn and Genetics HD. All vitamins have some kind of an aftertaste. I've been taking vitamins, and I only stopped the past couple of years, which those of you guys that have been watching my blog, you know, or watching my videos, you know that it's because I had a moron doctor that didn't realize I was in the beginning of perimenopause. He thought I had some kind of just, you know, I had this really, you can't really see the scars. I had a skin condition where I had these bumps that appeared all over like my chest and my upper back and my arms, and then they started creeping up on my neck and on my face. And this doctor that I was seeing, you know, he thought because my hair was long that it was my hair product, and then he knew that I took vitamins and certain supplements every day, and he's like, well, maybe it's your vitamins, stop taking vitamins. And then they had me on double dose, double strength antibiotics for 2 years, and it still didn't make it go away. They put me on Accutane, and that made it go away for like a couple months, but then it came back. Ugh, okay. All that said, my whole life, isn't it a cute new hat? I always get the cutest Playboy hats at LaGuardia Airport, but it's a little tall. Maybe it's meant for me to have taller hair. Anyway, so I used to always take my vitamins, and I was always the person at the office that got everybody else taking their vitamins, because I'd always be like, who's taking their vitamins? And everybody would always go, oh, Kelly, you just reminded me that I should take my vitamins. And then they all started bringing their vitamins, and it was just kind of this thing that we did in the office. I haven't been taking my vitamins the past 2 years, and now I'm back to taking them again. But I will tell you, it's not something I enjoy doing. No matter, whenever I've taken vitamins, I always have to try to hold my nose because they have a certain smell, but it's worth it. I'm almost done. So, how's it going? I'm having a good week. Have a lot to tell you guys. I'm just going to stop doing that for the moment. Oh, here's the, and actually I need to take one of these. Take these 3 times a day. I am having dinner tonight. I went tanning today. It looks like my nose got red. But anyway, I'm having dinner tonight, or meeting Electra for sushi. Now, Electra, that's actually her real name, which is funny that it's her real name because my last name being Olexa, you know, some people, I have a guy locally here that always calls me Carmen Electra instead of Kelly Olexa. That's his like nickname for me. And it's just so weird that now, fast forward a year or so, I actually have one of my Fitfluential ambassadors, and her real name is Electra. So I'm going to meet her for sushi tonight, and I'm going to start training with her, and she is going to tell me exactly what I need to be eating to reach my fat loss goals, because she's about as buff as possible. And I think you guys know that as much as I'm like in a good place, and I'm you know, starting this year, and I realized, you know, I need to be taking time for myself. I need to not work so hard like all the time. You know, I've put procedures in place that are going to help me reach my goals. The thing that I'm still, I guess, there's part of me that still just feels so overwhelmingly, I don't want to say confused, but maybe it's confused. I still have to say, like, there's something to be said about, I think it would be helpful for me, because of the past 2 years, to just have someone work with me to get me to my fat loss goal, because once I start training, the training part has never been the issue. What I'm more concerned about is that the past 2 years I've done so many different things, and then I do find myself still doubting what I'm eating, and you guys, when I tell you I'm not, pigging out or doing any of the bad behaviors that I've had in the past, I'm not. I do know that one of my, still I would say, I can feel the vitamin taste in my mouth, sorry. One of the things that is still, and I think this is a problem for a lot of people, I would say the area that screws me up, where it's not like I'm eating bad food, but I'm eating too much, and then that puts me into that caloric area where, you can eat easily an extra 200 or 300 calories, and that blows it, and that's why you just stay at the same weight, is at night. When I finally wrap up and I say, okay, I'm going to close my office door and I'm going to come in here, I'm going to watch Alias, or I'm going to watch Fringe or whatever, and then I'll go grab an apple, I'll make a cup of coffee, and that might not sound a lot to some of you. You're like, an apple, a cup of coffee, but you've seen my huge ass cups of coffee, right? So if I make a cup of coffee, I always have one big cup of coffee in the morning. In the winter time, I tend to have a cup of coffee at night, but that's 150 calories. So if I have 150 calories and like a banana, that's 250 calories, or, and then you have a bite of something else. It's all little bites and tastes of this and that. If you don't count that, and I do count it, but I do find myself, I found myself the past couple of weeks doing something like that, like having an apple or having a couple dates, a couple Medijoules, and then I'm like, oh, well, I was just hungry, and then I'm not like, yeah, I guess I'm justifying it. I'm sitting there going, well, you know what, I'll get really serious tomorrow. Tomorrow will be like a low carb day. And I just still feel that there's some level of me that is not, I'm not sure about what I'm eating. I'm not sure that it's the right thing. And for some reason, if I feel in my heart and my mind that I'm not doing the right thing, I tend to be more forgiving of myself. Whereas if I go on a program, and I know this might sound warped to some of you guys, but like I remember when I started training with Jenny Lynn and she told me what to eat, and I followed that specifically, and it wasn't until I started paying attention to 7,000 other people and getting off course that I started to see my results just stagnate. And I am so freaking determined to make this year count and make this year a year that's different. But I just find myself being scared to death that I'm eating the wrong thing. And I know that that's silly, but I do. I'm like, oh, and then I'll go on Facebook. I'm trying to make myself not get freaked out about it, but I am kind of looking forward to having a local partner with me, somebody that can just be here, that can see me every week, that I can be completely, it's easy to be accountable online, but it's also nice to have somebody here that I can say, okay, I'm still confused. I just saw something last night. I had my iPad here, I was watching TV, and this is a guy, a trainer that I know out in California, and he's like, if you're, trying to lean out, and women, if you're trying to lose, anything under 50 pounds, and you're stagnating or you're plateauing, you shouldn't be eating fruit. And I'm like, I just bought all these apples. Then I started freaking out about buying apples. And I know this sounds silly, and I know this is what I've told you guys I'm trying not to do. I'm trying not to panic about food, but there's just part of me that I think I'll feel better if I am on a specific, this is what I eat, this is how many calories, this is exactly what I'm doing, and it's a program, and I have to be accountable to somebody. And so I'm excited to talk to Electra tonight. Who obviously, I'll put the link to her blog below. Holy cow, people. I don't think I want to sit on the same side of the table as her, because I'm going to suffer by comparison in a big way. But she's very sweet, and I'm very, very excited. And we're also going to do videos. She's going to start doing the Genetics HD as well with me. Come to think of it, maybe I shouldn't let her do that, because then she's going to get even more buff and more beautiful. And then I'll suffer even more by comparison. I'm just kidding. But not really. So anyway, stay tuned. I'll let you know about that. Generally speaking, though, I've done really well this week. Workouts have been good. I threw in some workouts that weren't even planned, like I told you before. Today I'm actually getting ready. I'm going to go for a run. Got my Polar on. Got my DA Active stuff going on here. I'm actually, obviously it's cold out, so I'm going to put on some long sleeve stuff over this. But what else was I going to tell you? So workouts have been good. Definitely have noticed, although I've done some workouts in the evening this week, I just know that from now on, the goal always has to be for me to do my workouts in the morning because, still sore, really sore from workouts this week, which is good. If I am doing my workout at like 4:30 or 5, not only do I find that I don't have the energy that I do in the morning, but I just find myself thinking mentally like that I don't have as much time. Even if I don't have a meeting afterwards, or if I don't have a phone call later, or I don't have a Twitter chat that I have to do, I just find myself, if it's 5 o'clock, going, oh, I've got to finish this up. It's like this self-imposed pressure that I don't have as much time. Whereas when I'm giving myself, the mornings, like I told you, I'm locking out and I'm saying, I do not open my office hours. Kelly Olexa's office hours do not start until noon. That gives me the whole morning, and it gives me a lot more. I just don't have this like, oh, I only have 40 minutes, because I hate that. I really do like to have more time for my workouts. So I guess I'm just, now that I'm really, really getting back in the groove with everything, starting to realize, think about what's best. When do you do your best? When do you perform your best? And try to make sure that you can make that happen with your schedule. That's what I'm doing. We've put a lot of procedures in place with Fitfluential internally so that I can be at my best, only focus on what I need to do, delegate, and I've learned to do this stuff, and it's actually amazing. Like today is Friday, and I don't have 7 calls scheduled. I'm not overbooked until like 7 o'clock on a Friday night like I have been. You guys might laugh. That's what I've been doing, seriously. And it makes me like this, like, oh! And no one likes that. I mean, that sends me closer to Botox, really closer to Botox than I need to be. So these are easy. These are the pills that don't even, they're like tasting water. I just don't know why they can't make all pills like this where they're plastic and then you don't feel like if it gets stuck on your tongue that it's going to dissolve and be really disgusting. So anyway, I have to go run, literally. I'm going for a run out. There's no snow in the ground. It is actually crazy weather in Chicago. I think it's like 30, no, it was 60 the other day. I think today it's like 37, 38, which for those of you that live in Chicago, or for those of you that don't live in Chicago, that's like spring weather for us. When it gets to be 38, 30, 39 degrees, we're like taking our coats off going, oh my God, it's so warm out. That's what happens when you live up here. I'm so glad I went tanning a couple times this week. Feeling so much better. I'm feeling so much more like myself. So glad. Oh, and yes, shoulders better. I'm better. I don't sound like a man. It's all getting good. So you guys have a good rest of the week, and I will talk to you mañana. Mr. Flo, 1 week back at working with the weights, just 1 week. So we'll start to make more progress, and you'll see. I still feel a little bit in my shoulder, but I'm just being really careful. I'm being careful. I certainly am not back up to the weights, especially doing anything like an overhead press. I'm certainly not back to, my 20-pound weights that I was before, and I'm not going to push it. I'm not ever, ever, ever going to injure this like I have before. And heck, you know what? If this means that I have to be gentle with my shoulder for the rest of my life, I'll do it, because being really injured where I couldn't even put my coat on, like every time I put my coat on, I was like, ah! Every time I would like lean over on the bed and roll over on my arm, it was hurting. Not fun. FedEx is here. I have the package. Gotta go. See ya.